They're aware of how their behavior has hurt you and left you feeling abandoned. Archangel Michael says this moment arrives like a whisper that shakes the ground under quiet feet. The lamps are low, the air is still, and truth stands at the door with a steady breath. A curtain lifts inside the heart that once hid everything in shadow. You have carried the weight of silence like a stone wrapped in velvet. Their absence wrote long hours across your chest, and each minute felt like a hallway with no windows. The cold space around your name slowly learned the shape of your courage. They are finally seeing it now in a way that cannot be unseen. Every late reply becomes a mirror, and every dismissal echoes louder than any storm. The choices they made now circle back like homing birds that refuse to land anywhere except the truth. The sense of abandonment left frost on your mornings and dust on your evenings. It turned birthdays into empty chairs and messages into unread chapters. Yet beneath that ache, your spirit kept beating like a small drum calling angels to your side. Type Amen 333 to receive your blessing tonight. The drum is thunder. A memory opens like a sealed letter and the ink says your name with clarity and care. They finally admit that their behavior cut through the good things you offered, and the cut keeps stinging even when the room is warm. Comment, I receive, if your heart feels the shift. A door is opening that was never truly locked, and you will decide how far it should swing. No one else will decide the size of your sky anymore. Your breath writes new borders that honor your worth. Their awareness rises like the first light after a long monsoon night. It spreads across the floors of their mind and reveals every footprint they tried to ignore. The path shows exactly where they went wrong and where they left you waiting with patient hands. Your patience is no longer a quiet apology. It becomes a crown forged in the hours you survived without answers. It gleams with the understanding that endurance is not weakness but chosen grace. Comment, grace, if you claim calm power now. You were never the problem, though the silence tried to convince you. The lesson was carved into days and fed to you like hard bread, yet it built strength in every part of your spirit. You learned the language of resilience without shouting. They feel the gravity of consequence tugging at their ribcage. They hear your steady breath in the rooms where they once heard only their ego. They sense that a time of easy escape has ended and a time of honest repair has arrived. There is a message pressing through their chest like light through stained glass. It says your kindness was not a weakness to be used but a sanctuary to be treasured. It says their absence was not power but loss in disguise. Comment, I accept healing to anchor this moment. The clock does not punish them, yet it refuses to lie for them. Hours tell the truth with a clear voice, and the voice says they left you standing in a rain you did not deserve. The rain washed away the excuses and left the ground ready for new seeds. Your angelic protection never left you unattended. Wings covered you in the nights when you thought you slept beside emptiness. Warmth traveled with you, and that is why your hands still hold a gentle fire. The gentle fire is starting to show in your eyes again. It does not burn to destroy but to cleanse the hallway of old echoes. It blesses the next step and lights the right words at the right time. Comment, cleansed, if you feel the release. They remember gestures you made that asked for nothing in return. A saved seat, a shared meal, a message sent even when their silence pretended to be a wall. Each memory arrives with a key that unlocks their accountability. Their heart bends where pride once stood like iron. The bend does not break them, it frees them. It frees them to speak truth without masks that only suffocated every future. You are not responsible for the pace of their awakening. You are responsible for the safety of your heart and the direction of your steps. Your steps have earned roads that do not repeat the same ache. Comment, safe heart, to seal your boundaries. There is a letter forming in their spirit. It is written in simple words that do not beg or bargain but admit and honor. It carries the weight of a lantern finally lit. In the letter, they speak of the nights they pretended not to care. They confess that pretending cost them more than honesty ever would. They confess that your absence inside their days felt louder than any crowd. Your absence inside their days became a teacher. It taught them what your presence used to cover so gently that they could pretend they did not need it. Now they know they did, and they know it with humble breath. Comment, humble breath, if gentleness returns to your space. Archangel Michael says the new chapter begins with a boundary, not a bargain. Your boundary is a bridge that only carries those who respect its weight. Your boundary is a lighthouse that welcomes real travelers and turns away drifters of convenience. Their apology is not a spell that reverses time. It is a seed that requires daily water and honest sunlight. The seed will either grow into behavior or wither into memory. You have permission to move at the pace of your peace. You have permission to listen to actions more than promises. You have permission to protect joy like it is rare perfume in a glass kept near your heart. Comment, peace pace, to affirm your timing. They see how abandonment carved caution into your gestures. They see how you started measuring your words because echoes answered more often than a person. They see how you learned to celebrate yourself because waiting stole too many sunsets. The celebration you learned is a treasure that remains yours. Keep it even when apologies knock with flowers and soft voices. Keep it because it is your proof that you can bloom without permission. In the blooming, your stride becomes steady and elegant. Your spirit refuses the rush and chooses rhythm. Rhythm turns ordinary days into quiet victories lined up like bright beads. Comment, rhythm, if you choose steady joy. They replay the moment when you needed a hand and they delivered a shadow. They can now feel the cold they left behind, and it chills them to remember it. They are ready to warm what they once cooled. Readiness alone is not the whole song. The melody is consistency and the harmony is respect. When both arrive together, trust takes a gentle seat. You will feel the difference like rain after dust. The ground of your life will drink the change and answer with soft green. The view will shift from gray corners to open fields. Comment, open fields, to welcome green paths. A call approaches that does not shake with excuses. It arrives with breath that is even and words that are plain. It contains a promise of action that meets the morning and does not hide. You may answer or you may decline, and either way you remain whole. Wholeness is your companion now, not a destination hidden behind someone else. Wholeness sits beside you and smiles without asking for proof. Your smile becomes the new atmosphere inside your home. The walls hear laughter again and the floor learns your dance. The table waits for honest conversation or quiet meals made only for your joy. Comment, wholeness, to own your atmosphere. They place their pride on the shelf and lift accountability instead. Accountability has weight, and they feel it in their arms. The weight begins to build the muscles of respect. Respect is not a speech but a daily rhythm. It is shown in how each morning begins and how each night closes. It is shown in how hard days are handled without punishing the person who loves you. You will hold your boundaries like a lantern even when the path looks familiar. Familiar does not always mean safe, and your lantern knows the difference. Your lantern keeps the bugs away and calls real companions home. Comment, lantern, if your boundaries glow. They want to rebuild the small rituals they ignored. They want to show up on time and stay when presence matters. They want their words to match their hands. Hands that match words can hold a future. Futures like that grow slowly and last longer than quick flames. Slow light reaches deeper than a spark and warms rooms from the inside out. You breathe easier when slow light fills the house of your heart. The windows learn the song of trust again and open to fresh air. The roof stops feeling like a ceiling and starts feeling like protection. Comment, slow light, to welcome ease. Your inner child hears the news and loosens the tight knot in the stomach. The knot once kept you cautious even in simple joy. The knot now learns that the present you is the guardian the past you needed. Guardian energy does not roar to be believed. It stands, it chooses, it blesses, or it blocks. It knows the value of the garden and the cost of neglect. You refuse to negotiate with disrespect again. You refuse to confuse longing with destiny again. You refuse to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm again. Comment, I refuse harm, to seal your vow. They finally understand that silence is not neutral when a heart is waiting. Silence becomes a blade when used to control, and they put down the blade. They lift care instead, and care has no sharp edges. Care knows how to apologize with specifics and patience. Care does not rush you through your healing or demand a fast end to pain. Care brings blankets, schedules time, and tells the truth about missteps. You are not obligated to forget in order to forgive. Forgiveness can be a door that opens into new rooms for yourself. Sometimes the door leads to peace without reunion, and that is still holy. Comment, holy peace, if that resonates with your path. Archangel Michael says heaven records your tears like seeds planted in clear soil. Every seed grows into wisdom that protects future chapters. Every chapter respects the author you have become. Your name sits under a new covenant with your own soul. The covenant says you will not abandon yourself to keep company. The covenant says your softness will be guarded by strength you never need to apologize for. They see you standing in that covenant and they feel both humility and hope. Humility bows at the truth, and hope asks to earn a place through action. Action steps forward without costume and meets your standards in daylight. Comment, daylight, to welcome honest action. They remove shortcuts from the map and accept the long road home. The long road carries lanterns and lessons at every mile. The miles teach patience and gratitude without erasing responsibility. Responsibility becomes a practice, not a performance. It shows up when no one is clapping and keeps showing up tomorrow. It chooses repair even when repair costs pride. Your room fills with a calm that feels like sunrise through clean glass. The glass shows a future with color and depth and softness. Softness remains powerful because it is guided by wisdom. The phone may ring with sincerity, and your spirit will know. The message may arrive with depth, and your boundaries will read it line by line. Patience will turn pages only when consistency has inked them well. You hold the pen of your yes and your no. You hold the calendar, the door, the table, and the map. You hold the right to choose what loves you correctly. Comment, correct love, if your standard is set. They are aware now, and awareness has responsibilities attached to it. They accept those responsibilities or release you gently so your wings remain unbroken. There is no third path of taking without giving anymore. The season of crumbs is over because your soul has set a full table. You feed your days with intention, clarity, and tender celebration. Your celebrations no longer require permission slips. You walk out into a street washed by new rain. The sky is generous and the ground is forgiving. Your steps are an orchestra of quiet courage. Comment, quiet courage, to celebrate your stride. They arrive with words that do not tremble, and those words meet your boundary at the gate. The gate opens only for integrity and closes for performance. Integrity knows the password, and the password is daily honor. Daily honor looks like showing up without reminders. Daily honor looks like listening without defense. Daily honor looks like care that does not disappear when the room changes. You carry a calm crown that does not need tilting to be seen. It belongs to you by right of healing. It shines without noise and guides without fear. Comment, calm crown, if you claim it now. The story that once kept you awake now releases your body to rest. Rest becomes a sanctuary where your dreams grow into plans. Plans place flowers along the path that used to be bare. You plant those flowers with a steady hand. You water them with routines and laughter. You protect them with the boundary you learned to love. They ask to walk this garden with you, and you answer with wisdom. Wisdom steps slow, observes, and blesses what is real. Wisdom smiles because it knows you will be fine either way. Comment, wise path, to bless your garden. Your heart deserves letters that arrive on time and promises that meet the surface of every day. Your life deserves voices that do not abandon the room when storms arrive. Your future deserves a partner or a peace that matches heaven's dignity inside you. Dignity wraps your shoulders like a soft shawl and follows you into every room. It teaches others how to hold your presence. It teaches you how to hold yourself without apology. This is the turning point, and you are the keeper of the turn. You will not be rushed or delayed. You will be aligned. Comment, aligned, to crown this turning. They know what they did and they know what it cost. They feel the ache of their absence and the echo of your strength. They step forward with open hands or step back with open truth. Either way, you rise. Either way, your light remains. Either way, your story honors both tenderness and power. You notice your shoulders lowering as the days prove themselves. You notice your laughter arriving without permission from memory. You notice that peace sits closer to you than it ever has. Comment, proven peace, as your sign of arrival. There is a gentle reunion with yourself that no other reunion can replace. You sit with your own heart and offer the warmth you once outsourced. Your heart recognizes the voice that never leaves. Your destiny does not shrink to fit anyone's delay. Your gifts do not wait in cold hallways for late arrivals. Your life breathes now and grows now and rejoices now. They will either join that rejoicing with reverence or step aside with respect. Either outcome becomes a blessing because it honors truth. Truth never punishes, it simply reveals where everything belongs. Comment, I honor truth, to align your path. Comment, I rise, if your spirit agrees. Archangel Michael says the season of abandonment ends where your self-respect begins. Your self-respect is not a wall against love but a door that opens only for the worthy. Your steps are blessed and your peace is protected under watchful wings. You are guided, guarded, and grounded. The calm you feel now is proof that heaven has already moved in your favor. The coming days will match the dignity you walk in today. Comment, "It is done," to seal it in your life. The room is quiet but every detail feels sharp, like a clock counting the brave seconds of a new life. The air carries the weight of choices that finally learned how to stand without excuses. A calm electricity moves through your spirit as if the dawn itself decided to speak in your name. Archangel Michael says the hour that follows awareness is the hour that proves everything. The night confessed, the mirror reflected, and now the feet of truth touch the floor with purpose. Your heart hears those steps and prepares a boundary shaped like light. A message glows in the center of your chest and refuses to dim. It remembers every delay you survived and every silence you outgrew. It holds a steady lantern over the map of your next decisions. They wake up with the taste of yesterday's courage still in their mouth. The courage did not belong to them alone, it belonged to the truth you carried with unshakable grace. The truth now asks for consistency, not theater, and you are ready to watch carefully. Type Amen 333 for sealed protection and soft breakthroughs. The sun lifts like a curtain and the day stares back with clear eyes. It asks for alignment between words and hands, between apology and action, between promise and schedule. Your spirit nods without noise and chooses the rhythm of proof. Comment, "I choose proof," if your soul agrees. You move through your morning with a quiet crown. The crown does not need permission to shine because healing already signed the papers. The paper trail of your growth is long, tender, and undeniable. They pick up their phone and read the last message that holds them accountable. The words feel heavier than when they were first written, because now the weight includes their own awareness. Awareness turns soft syllables into living instructions. A small ritual starts inside your home and it becomes a bell you can hear without sound. The bell rings when respect is present, and it falls silent when inconsistency tries to enter. The bell belongs to you and cannot be borrowed by manipulation. Comment, "My bell rings for respect, to keep your space clean." You pack your day with tasks that honor your breath. Each task fits like a puzzle piece into the larger picture of calm power. Calm power is never lazy, it practices devotion to what keeps you whole. They are remembering the early kindness you offered like candles on important nights. The candles did not ask for an audience, they asked for care. Care is now the only language allowed at your gate. A letter drafts itself on your table while you are not looking. It writes in the ink of standards and the grammar of self-trust. The letter says you are not auditioning for love anymore because love that needs auditions is not love. Comment, "No more auditions," to confirm your standard. Archangel Michael says your boundary is a living river, not a concrete wall. The river welcomes clean boats and carries away debris without ceremony. The river keeps moving toward peace and nobody can dam it with old stories anymore. They arrive with a plan that is simple and measurable. Simplicity becomes holy when it is honest and repeated. Measurable steps turn sincerity from vapor into water that actually quenches thirst. You listen with both ears and with the quiet antenna of your spirit. The antenna notices posture, consistency, and follow-through. It notices the difference between bright words and grounded habits. Comment, "Grounded habits," if your intuition values time-tested truth. Your home learns a new schedule where safety is not an emergency. Safety becomes the ordinary atmosphere, like oxygen that never advertises itself. The ordinary sacred returns to your kitchen, your desk, and your door. They remember how abandonment taught you to celebrate alone. They see the strength it gave you and the tenderness it almost stole. They choose to join your celebration with humility or they choose to observe it from a distance with respect. An hour passes and your body feels lighter. The lightness is not a fantasy, it is the weight you refuse to keep carrying. Your spine thanks you and your breath extends the thank you into the afternoon. Comment, "Light spine," if you feel the release settling in. A memory knocks, but this time it carries a lesson instead of a wound. The lesson says you can accept repair without surrendering the key to your peace. The key stays on your necklace, warm against your skin and loyal to your dignity. They take their first consistent step before noon. It is not loud and it is not public, it simply shows up where it matters. The step fits inside the exact shape of yesterday's promise. You offer grace that does not erase accountability. You smile with eyes that remember, hands that bless, and feet that refuse to walk backward. The map of backward is still visible, but the road forward is brighter and kinder. Comment, forward and kind, to bless your route. The wind outside changes texture like fabric turning into silk. Even the light in the room chooses a softer angle across the floor. Your energy collaborates with the day to create a sanctuary that stays open only to truth. They pick up a forgotten responsibility and carry it without sighs. The carrying is quiet but steady, and steady matters more than spectacle. Spectacle breaks easily, steady holds houses together through seasons. A small joy arrives like a faithful bird at your window. It pecks at the glass and asks to be let in. You open your palm and the bird hops onto the lifeline that has held you through the longest nights. Comment, small joy, if you welcome gentle wonders. Your inner child sits at the table with a bright crayon. The drawing is not of what was lost but of what is being built. The paper becomes a horizon full of patient color. Evening begins to gather its shawl and your heart slows to a peaceful rhythm. The rhythm is a new metronome that keeps time for trust. Trust learns to dance again, not with leaps, but with careful, beautiful steps. They understand that love is a practice, not a performance. Practice arrives daily even when rooms are messy or moods are tired. Performance crashes when applause ends, but practice grows roots under the surface of life. Comment, practice over performance, to anchor the lesson. A message arrives from someone who witnessed your journey in silence. The words are simple and true, validated by time and observation. Validation clears the last pieces of fog from your path. Archangel Michael says your name is written beside the phrase, non-negotiable peace. Non-negotiable peace refuses discount and refuses delay. It treats your heart like a cathedral and your schedule like sacred ground. The night opens like velvet and the stars remember your vows. Your vows were not to an outcome but to your own integrity. Integrity stands guard at your door with a kind smile and very clear eyes. Comment, non-negotiable peace, to seal your inner cathedral. They cook a meal or fold a task into the evening, and it looks like care. Care is ordinary when love is real, and ordinary is exactly what you needed. The extraordinary is beautiful, but it cannot replace the daily bread of presence. You feel the edges of old fear soften like wax near a candle. The heat here is not destructive, it is tender and purifying. It shapes your courage into something smooth and ready for tomorrow. A plan is placed on the table with dates, times, and gentle check-ins. Each item is a thread and together they weave reliability. Reliability is love's weatherproof coat. Comment, weatherproof love, to welcome reliability. Your sleep will come like a true friend, not like a thief. The friend brings blankets of quiet and pillows of trust. The thief is denied entry at the window by wings that know your name. They realize that respect is a sunrise, not a spotlight. Sunrise returns every day because it is chosen by the world itself. Spotlight runs out when the battery dies and leaves a room colder than before. In the stillness, your spirit listens for its own voice and it arrives on time. The voice says your life is faithful to you. The fidelity of your life is the gift you paid for with every healed day. Comment, my life is faithful, to honor your healing. Morning returns, and the gate of consistency stands like a beautiful arch. The arch is carved with your hard-won clarity and the gentle humor you kept alive through storms. It curves perfectly over a path that does not wander into harm. They stand before the arch and leave their pride at the grass. Pride is a coat they no longer need in this weather. Humility fits better and keeps them warm without choking the neck. A tiny miracle hides in the ordinary, a message answered, a plan kept, a tone softened. The miracle is small only at first glance, it is actually the key to an empire of trust. Empires begin with bricks, not fireworks. Comment, brick by brick, if you honor small miracles. Your day grows a backbone made of peace. The backbone keeps you upright when winds try to rehearse old scripts. Old scripts lose their actors once you stop paying for the theater. They look you in the eyes and speak with steady breath. The steadiness is the real story, and the story is finally worth reading. It does not rush to the ending, it builds the middle that protects the ending. Your hands open like windows to let in air that smells like new pages. New pages do not erase the book, they continue it with dignity. Dignity is the plot now and you are the author again. Comment, author again, to write your next chapter with grace. A calm message arrives from your future, wrapped in present action. The message says you are safe to bloom without bargaining. Safety and bloom hold each other like kind siblings. They volunteer to carry a share of the future without being asked. The volunteering is proof that love's muscles are growing. Muscles grow slowly and then suddenly, and the strength becomes visible in moments of need. You take a walk beneath a sky that blesses your forehead with gentle light. The ground accepts each step like a promise. Promises that meet the ground become foundations. Comment, foundation kept, to bless every step you take. Evening returns again, and the second day of proof sits beside the first. The days begin to stack like sturdy books that can hold up a lamp. The lamp turns your room into a library of calm. They start noticing how good it feels to stand on honesty. Honesty is solid in ways control never was. Control trembled under the surface, honesty hums with a soft power that lasts. Your sleep carries a dream where you finally place the last piece of an old puzzle. The picture is not revenge or triumph, it is balance. Balance kisses your forehead and calls you beloved. Comment, beloved balance, for steady alignment. Another morning, and the arch of consistency now frames your doorway like art. Visitors notice without you pointing, because true beauty announces itself. Your life wears elegance that came from discipline, not from show. They set alarms that are not for you to chase, they are for them to meet. The alarms become a choir of reliability. Reliability sings better than charm and never loses its voice. Your meals taste different because presence seasons everything. Even water feels kinder in your mouth. Kindness becomes a mineral your bones absorb. Comment, seasoned with presence, if your days are tasting better. A letter arrives from your future self on thick paper that smells like courage. The words are simple: keep going, keep glowing, keep choosing what loves you correctly. Correct love is not perfect love, it is honest, humble, and consistent. They learn that apologies are verbs. They treat them like verbs and the grammar becomes life. Life begins to conjugate into we instead of I, without erasing you. You touch the handle of a new door and feel no fear. The door does not lead away from you, it leads deeper into your wholeness. Wholeness is the home you promised yourself. Comment, home inside, to bless your door. Days gather like pearls and thread themselves into a calm necklace around your throat. Each pearl is a kept promise, a steady tone, a gentle presence. The necklace glows where your voice lives. They notice how your voice has changed, not louder, just clearer. Clarity carries further than volume and reaches places shouting could not. Clarity is the new music of your life. Archangel Michael says you have crossed the line where hope turns into structure. Structure is love's favorite instrument because it keeps harmony in real time. Harmony is not luck, it is choice repeated. Comment, harmony chosen, to anchor structured love. The season of abandonment remains behind the closing door. The door does not slam, it settles into its frame with quiet justice. Quiet justice is the most merciful kind because it does not humiliate, it simply protects. They hold the map and keep walking with you, or they place it down with respect. Either action stays honest and keeps your spirit clean. Clean spirits attract clean futures. Your eyes reflect a horizon that belongs to you. The horizon bends toward joy that you did not beg for. Joy stands on its own 2 feet and invites you to dance with both shoes on. Comment, both shoes on, if you accept full joy. The gate of consistency stays open only to those who can prove love at the speed of life. The speed is not frantic, it is faithful. Faithful feels like breath that never forgets to return. They begin to cherish the beauty of showing up. Showing up becomes their habit, not their exception. The habit becomes their offering to the altar of trust. You sit with your heart and feel no alarms. The silence is healthy and the quiet is kind. Kind quiet is the most expensive luxury your soul has ever owned. Comment, kind quiet, to keep the luxury close. The path ahead is paved with days that honor your worth. Your worth does not fluctuate with someone else's mood. Your worth is the weather system of your life and it forecasts blessing. They are aware, they are acting, and they are learning the joy of consistency. You are aware, you are discerning, and you are choosing the joy of grounded peace. Grounded peace is the throne of your new season. Comment, grounded peace, to crown this chapter now.